welcome. It is truly an honor to welcome you all here for what I believe is now our 13th or 12th annual Sedona Forum, held here in this beautiful backdrop, this place that meant so much to Senator John McCain. We meet here today because Senator McCain understood how important it was to bring people together across the aisle to solve, or at least to discuss, the world's most important challenges. And today, the world, of course, faces many complex challenges. The assaults on democracy, human rights, and global security, all of which are accelerated by the growing threat of climate change. And that's why we picked the theme, Securing Our Insecure World, this year, because we wanted to evoke for everyone that not only are we faced with geostrategic threats to our security, but we also are facing a physical threat to our security, exemplified by climate change. The McCain Institute is proud to be part of Arizona State University, which under the visionary leadership of Dr. Crow has really come to exemplify the new American university, has come to exemplify openness and excellence in research, including on issues pertaining to climate change. ASU is working on groundbreaking research to spur innovation and protect our natural resources. And all you have to do is turn on your television or open a newspaper or open your computer, and you will see an article about some of the excellent work that's being done here. Senator McCain understood the urgency of confronting climate change. He said in 2008, quote, "We stand warned by serious and credible scientists across the world that time is short and the dangers are great. The most relevant question now is whether our own government is equal to the challenge." 16 years later, sadly, the challenge of climate change persists. We cannot ignore this warning. It must factor into our conversations this weekend as we consider threats to our interests, the conflicts in Ukraine and the Middle East, and relations with China. This weekend, we will also honor the courage exhibited by true patriots, Vladimir Kara-Murza, who remains imprisoned in Russia, and Alexei Navalny, who was murdered by the Kremlin. As Senator McCain said in 2013, quote, "The Putin government sees people like these as criminals or worse, but the free world knows who they are. Russian patriots, servants of justice and truth, and the future leaders of their country." Our conversation and explorations this weekend will strengthen our resolve to achieve the mission of the McCain Institute, a world that is free, safe, and just for all. I need to thank all of our partners and generous donors. Without all of them, we would not be here today. Thank you for your support. Thank you for joining us this weekend. And a special thank you to our board member, Jack McCain, to Ambassador Cindy McCain, who is the living exemplar, along with Jack and Jimmy, actually, of service above self. We are lucky to have the ambassador with us to also help shed some light on hunger, the crisis in the Middle East, multiple crises in Africa. Jimmy McCain, who's, I don't believe he's here, but serving our country, deployed. So every day we are reminded of the example that the senator set through the work of the McCain Institute, through the involvement of his family. Please follow along, those of you out there in the wide world, and share your insights on social media using the hashtag Sedona Forum 2024. And now, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce this visionary man standing next to me. I am truly honored. It is an honor for the McCain Institute to be housed within Arizona State University. It is not an exaggeration to say that Michael Crow is truly the most innovative educational leader in the world. He has brought something.
It's a low bar.
he has brought what he calls the new American university to Arizona and to America. But he is also building something, as I watch him, that I think is really a national university, a university that unites all of America. And he understands what it means to be American and how special it is to be American, and how we must all work together to defend our democracy, our human rights, and to create good, educated citizens. So with that, thank you very much, Dr. Crow.
Thank you. I don't need that. Thank you, Evelyn. Some of my colleague university presidents have been in the news lately, I've heard, and some of the institutions have been creating all kinds of mental angstiness, about where they are and what they do and what they're doing and where they're headed and so forth. And as I said to some of our friends and colleagues last night, please don't write the universities off as they try to figure out who they are and what they do and where they're going. It is the case that, drink of water, I think a bug got in there. Did you see those little bugs flying around all over your clothes? Yeah, well, one of them's in my throat. So, I wanted to just let you know what the home of the McCain Institute is doing and how we're doing and how we've been doing since the last year, because it's not as if, everything's going to hell in a handbasket and there's no forward progress being made and that we're drifting off the edge of the cliff and we'll soon be down in the carcasses with others at the bottom of the cliff. We'll graduate on Monday about 21,000 students. And so, and we have more than one graduation a year. We have students at ASU. People want to be here. They want to be attached to us. We have students from 157 countries with us on campus. We have students from all 50 states. We'll have about 85,000 students enrolled. We have maximum applications this year, over 80,000 for our first year class. No diminishment in demand, no diminishment in what's going on. We'll break $1 billion this year in funded research expenditures, which is massive. Only 4 universities in the country have ever done that. MIT, Cal Berkeley, and Georgia Tech, and so we're 4th in that category without a medical school. So we're excited about that. The government of the United States and the leadership of the United States has asked us to, both between industry and the universities, to restore American preeminence in semiconductor and microelectronics, and so there's this whole thing going on. There's $100 billion of projects being built in Metro Phoenix right now. Governor Hobbs might talk about that, and others that are here might talk about that. But in addition to that, the Defense Department decided to create a new national laboratory for the United States called the Microelectronics Commons, 8 hubs around the country. We won one of those hubs with dozens and dozens of partners. We decided that we'd like to do something other than complain about climate change. Why don't we make money off of climate change? Why don't we find a way to get carbon out of the atmosphere and turn it into something useful? So 6 hubs were established around the United States to become carbon capture hubs. We won one of those with 100 partners also. The National Science Foundation, now led by one of our FACTA members on leave, Sethuraman Panchanathan. So Panch is in Washington driving the $10 billion a year National Science Foundation, the most elite scientific research organization that humans have ever funded. And he's been able in his 3 years there to direct them on a new path where you do basic research, where as a result of the basic research, you get the most immediate economic outcomes imaginable. These are called the Engines projects. Over $1 billion of investment is in line. 10 of them were awarded, and ASU won the one. We won one of the 10, but we won the one to build the economy built around sustainability. How do you make sustainability, addressing global climate change, capturing carbon from the atmosphere, how do you help make the economy bigger and better and more successful along the way? We've been operating all over the world. I've been on, I think, 5 or 6 international trips this academic year, none of them for pleasure, all of them for partnerships. All of them for partnerships. We're helping to build 60 universities around the world. We're helping to launch whole new activities in Africa related to enhancing African universities, enhancing their outcomes. We have projects in El Salvador where we're working to reduce undocumented immigrants coming to the United States because we can help build the economy there, help build the rule of law there, help make things happen. And we have been unbelievable fighters for free speech. I know that we're fighting for free speech because I receive hate mail from literally everyone you can possibly imagine, including my friends. I thought I knew you. And in doing that, it turns out that there, on university campuses, there are free speech constraints. You can't build encampments on university campuses, have those encampments filled with violent individuals, mostly not students, use those encampments as ways to attract other people intent on having a violent interaction rather than a free expression of speech, So our encampment did not last 24 hours. Our encampment allowed the free speech. Our encampment was set up during the day, and we told them it had to be taken down, and some of them agreed and some of them didn't agree, and so we took the encampment down, and the next day, groups were allowed making the same free speech expressions. They were back on campus, appropriately expressing their views, appropriately arguing for policy changes, or arguing for this, or arguing for that. And so the key thing I want to tell you there is that it is very, very possible that we are actually finding ways to do all these things in really complicated institutions called universities, including ours. Nothing that I've just expressed to you is easy. Nothing that, the kinds of projects that we're working on, the teams that we're building, graduating 21,000 students. We have almost 10,000 students as undergraduates from ASU that come from families with incomes under $20,000 a year. They don't have any money to go to college. We find a way for them to go to college. And so we, in the spirit of what Evelyn was calling the New American University, I'm just trying to give you an update that there's a lot of things going on, a lot of positive things going on, a lot of actual things that are happening, and on Monday we graduate 21,000 people. So welcome to the McCain Institute.